So 1-0 up in the series, and we have landed in Adelaide from Perth, and now we are looking forward to the second test match, the day-night test, the pink ball test between India and Australia. India are 1-0 ahead, as I said, and now they will travel to Canberra. They have already travelled to Canberra and perhaps reached there as well, and they will be playing a two-day warm-up match against the Prime Minister's 11. So we will discuss about their departure and what are the plans in Canberra. Devashish, can you shed some light on their plans in Canberra?
Yeah, obviously, since it's a traveling day today, they won't be training today, but definitely they would be practicing tomorrow and day after before they play that two-day practice match. Obviously, there are a few events lined up with the prime ministers. They have a gala dinner. Rohit will be traveling to Canberra tomorrow, so you will get all the updates from Canberra from Rohit. But yes, but the biggest talking point, Shubman, for me was that Shubman Gill was seen not with a bandage on his left arm. So that's a huge positive sign. Means assuming that he is regaining full fitness, and that will be a huge boost for Indian team.
Absolutely, Rohit. You will be travelling to Canberra. So, what are the things that you are looking forward to in the capital of Australia?
I think yes, as Devashish Da said that they already left for Canberra, and yes, today is obviously the travel day, so no other official or unofficial kind of involvements as far as the consulate is concerned or the Australian government is concerned. But yes, tomorrow is an official reception for both the teams, and a very very close by people have been called to attend that particular reception. Some from the embassies, some from the consulate, and obviously from the government, and as well as the Indian team will be there. But day after, yes, there will be a practice session. What we can tell the viewers that there could be a practice session on 29th, and after that on 29th eve there will be a gala dinner. Yeah. So yes, it will be attended by a lot of fans. The tickets were there. They sold out, $300 per ticket. What I came to know. And after that, yes, from 30th there will be a game, two-day game, a pink ball practice game for India. It's an annual kind of occasion here in Australia that traveling teams usually play this Prime Minister's 11 game in Canberra, and mostly it will be a two-day game. So, but for us, it will be really important as far as Shubman Gill is concerned, as Devashish has told, that while traveling to Canberra, his left thumb, what we saw,
there was no
we can
strapping whatsoever at all. So,
exactly.
So he's looking good. He even posted a selfie with Dhruv Jurel and Yashasvi Jaiswal. Yeah. Sarfaraz Khan was also there in that frame, and whatever the departure shot.
Carrying his luggage also.
It looked like it was his left finger.
Yes,
he was showing a victory sign.
Yeah, even he was carrying the luggage with his left arm. So things are looking good. Yes, if he does not play in the Prime Minister warm-up match against the Prime Minister, it could be precautionary. But as far as the Adelaide test is concerned, he is looking good. And as Rohit also said, when he travels to Canberra, all eyes will be on Shubman Gill in regards to the practice session, in regards to the nets,
and Rohit Sharma.
And Rohit Sharma, of course, I am coming to Rohit Sharma. Of course, the practice sessions in Canberra with the ping ball test, we saw Rohit, Abhimanyu Ishwar and Sarfaraz Khan train with the ping ball at the Optus Stadium in Perth during that lunch break phase. For all the batters, of course, the bowlers, it will be slightly easier for them to operate with the ping ball. But for the batters, Devashish, how important will the preparation, the nets will be for them? Not only that Prime Minister's 11 game, but the nets in the evening phase, possibly in the coming days.
Yeah, I would sense that the main batters get an opportunity to play that practice game rather than getting your fringe players. But definitely all eyes will be on Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. But you need to have your other batters as well playing that game. So someone like a Yashasvi Jaiswal, despite him getting that big 100. Virat Kohli, another batter, means all the top batters, the main batters to play that, Rahul. Because Indian players don't get an opportunity to play or rather practice in the ping ball, and match practice is always better than even you might spend hours in the nets, but obviously getting a match feel is something that is why they do the simulation practice. So I would rather feel that in fact the bowlers as well. In fact the bowlers as well, be it a Bumrah or a Harshit Rana or a Mohammad Siraj or a Akashdeep, they should all get a feel of the pink ball, just so as to get used to the conditions, how the pink ball is. Means Akashdeep did play a few matches back in Bengal, but I think then the focus should be to get a proper match practice before traveling to Adelaide. Yes, they would be getting a few more practice sessions before the actual test match starts on the December 6th, but I would still feel that you should give opportunity to everyone who the team management feels would make it to that playing 11.
Rohit, what do you think? How important will all the practice sessions be for the batter especially?
No, it will be really important because as far as playing with the pink ball concerned, we are not very habitual as
Right.
this Australian team is, and this is where we are standing right behind Adelaide,
Not good
right
memories.
behind, yes, Adelaide Oval. So yeah, not good memories as far as white ball, pink ball, any kind of ball if you are talking about. So not good memories, but yes, for sure the way they play, the kind of play, the kind of cricket they play, and in each year there used to be one pink ball test match for Australia. Last time around, yes, this is not the venue, but in Gabba they played and they lost to West Indies.
Shamar Joseph.
Courtesy to Shamar Joseph. But I think the kind of experience they had last time around, what happened here with the pink ball, we all remember. So for that only, what my biggest points to look forward to in Canberra will be that what Rohit Sharma is doing with the pink ball, what Shubman Gill, if he if at all he picks up that bat and
Starts
go
batting.
there, yeah, starts batting. So that will be the pointers, and obviously all the other batters who are in the 11, because from there onwards I think you will get an idea that who is going to be in the priority list for Team India as far as playing 11 is concerned.
Absolutely. So let's see what the Indian team has up in their arms in the coming days, especially in Canberra. Now they have reached the capital of Australia.
Yeah.
All the practice session will be covered exclusively by Ref Sports, so stay tuned there. But again, moving forward to the next half of our video. Now moving forward to the other half of our video. Of course, we will have to talk about the Australian teams. Ravi Shastri, the former head coach, in the commentary did say that there are some mental cracks in this Australian team, and this Indian team have, with that kind of performance, defeating Australia for the first time at the Optus Stadium by a massive margin of 295 runs. At one point in time, when the former Aussie cricketers were previewing the series, Brad Haddon said, Indians won't score even 250 in this test match, but the mark
Right. He was right.
He was right, but they ended up winning the test match by 295 runs. And even when we were checking with the security guards here, he said that you are going to win this test match. You know that. So the Australian local fans, local media, they are smashing Labuschagne like anything.
Exactly.
There are question marks on what Josh Hazelwood said in that press conference, that the batting, you have to ask that whether the batting group is united or not. Pat Cummins did say that he has not listened to that press conference, but as a captain he will always defend his team.
Exactly.
But Devashish, you have covered so many test series in Australia, Border Gavaskar Trophy. Is this the weakest Australian team in terms of mental fortitude, in terms of coming against the opposition on their face and coming hard against them in the first test?
See, I won't say that it's the weakest side, because they have that quality, they
Of
have
course
that
they
depth,
have.
they have that experience. But there is some sort of mental block when it comes to facing India. Means if you look at the last 10 years, Australia have literally won nothing against India. And yes, they have bowled out India for 36 all out in the last time the two teams played here. But then since that Adelaide test, Indian team has gone in from strength to strength. Yes, and obviously that series win, that test win in Gabba, and obviously this time also there were a lot of talks before the series,
Right.
that
It will be 4-0, it will be 5-0.
Yes.
Ali said, I want to say 5-0, but I'll give 4-1 to India.
Exactly. But then and that statement, Shubman, you rightly said, means did you ever see an Australian cricketer, a main fast bowler, speaking on the batting unit? Means there's definitely the problem with the camera, definitely a question mark in the camaraderie of the side. How they tackle this problem will goes to be seen. But then obviously, as you rightly said, Pat Cummins will defend his team, being the captain of the
Right.
side. but definitely you would never expect an Australian cricketer, part of the Test squad, to come out in press conference and say such things about the batting unit.
And you know, Rohit, I feel this is personally my opinion that this Australian batting unit, especially barring Steve Smith, I leave Steve Smith out. He's a legendary cricketer, but barring Steve Smith, I don't think this Australian batting unit is trusting their skills against this quality Indian pace attack. You look at Usman Khwaja; they have opened with Nathan McSweeney, who bats at the middle order at number 3, at number 4 at Sheffield Shield. You made him open the innings, and for Usman Khwaja being the senior player in that opening rank, you asked Nathan McSweeney to face the new ball against Jasprit Bumrah in both the innings, knowing that he struggled against Bumrah in the first innings, and again in the second innings you repeated that thing and asked Nathan McSweeney to face Jasprit Bumrah against the
and
new
also
ball.
he's a left-hander also.
Yeah.
So that will create again a problem for Jasprit Bumrah to find his length, because Jasprit Bumrah to a right-hander over the wicket will eventually be a natural thing for Jasprit Bumrah rather than coming over to the wicket to a left-hander.
Right.
So, as far as you said, that him being Nathan McSweeney being a number 3 player, yes, they have trusted him a lot. The last 2 Sheffield Shield seasons were really good for Nathan McSweeney, and that's why he's in the team.
But against Jasprit Bumrah,
But that's my point is that
you have to protect him.
They were also saying that these
Steve
kind of
Smith opened in between.
They also said that Manas Labuschagn's form in this ground,
Yeah.
and again they will say that because Manas Labuschagne had hit I think 3 or 4 centuries in this ground
Right,
also in
right,
Adelaide,
right.
and his average is plus 70 here.
Right.
There his average was 100 plus. So now it's not about what Nathan McSweeney is doing, what Manas Labuschagne is doing. It's about, do they have anyone else who they can trust on?
Right.
So from Nathan McSweeney, I think
And their backup
Travis Head
lacks
also looks
experience.
really good in the second innings. Travis Head looked really good in the second innings. Again, Steven Smith, if you see, he has. I don't know that what kind of either it's in his mind or in his skills, but the kind of he looked like a fish out of water. Means skill wise, the first innings
ball.
dismissal, what he was doing means, I am not saying this, but the Channel 7 commentators are saying this, that that replay when that replay came out, it was looked like, means it was bizarre the way Steve Smith was what he's doing with his stance. So from Nathan McSweeney to Usman Khwaja to Manas Labuschagne to Steven Smith, that's your top 4.
Right.
And no one is actually giving you the confidence. Plus, you don't have a bench strength like India.
Right.
Like we have Devdutt Padikkal.
Sarfaraz Khan, Abhimanyu Ishwaran, who have played a lot of first
and
class matches.
top five of the first 11 players are not playing this game.
Right.
Means Ravindra Jadeja and Ashwin, yes, selection call, but Devdutt Padikkal, why? Because you have a Shubman Gill thumb injury.
Right.
Why? At the top you have to
Harshit.
change your batting order because Rohit Sharma is not there.
Harshit
Rana, Nitish Kumar Reddy.
Because
So,
Mohammad Shami is not there.
Exactly. Mohammad Shami is not there. So you look at India's bench strength and then you compare it with Australia's bench strength. Plus,
I would just like to add, means obviously both the teams are going through a transition phase.
Right,
Means
yeah.
obviously so much so with the Australian team as well. But then we do have the replacement. When you to talk about the quality, but is there a replacement for David Warner?
I don't think so. And
I think
especially
that quality.
the kind of words he say behind the stumps,
That aggression.
sometimes that aggression which motivates your player. Arey, come
Like
on.
you saw Virat Kohli being pumped up from the slip cord and coming
and
there.
I haven't seen from my childhood days that this mute Australian team,
Yes.
because they were so mute in their cricket game, like they were not saying
they were
anything.
talking about IPL auction.
They were talking about IPL auctions. Yashasvi Jaiswal saying that you are bowling so slow, and then he was
That to Mitchell Starc.
That to Mitchell Starc. Come on, you are not talking to someone very new to the cricket. You're talking about Mitchell Starc, one of the very best in this generation. And after that, when
Harshit Rana was
in press
bowling.
conference, when it was asked from Yashasvi Jaiswal, he said yes, because he was bowling slow.
Yeah.
So look at this, the new face of Indian cricket, which is very fearless. A Yashasvi Jaiswal playing his first innings under Mitchell Starc, the seasoned bowler. And he was just, and they were not doing anything. Look at Nitish Kumar Reddy, the way he was tonking, coming down the track. It was Australia, it was Waka. It was not Sydney or Adelaide or Melbourne, where you can say that Indian batters can easily play like
the
this.
pitch is
That
flatter,
was Waka, bro. That was Waka. And the kind of aggression we used to see from Australians, that with their eye stares. I still remember Ricky Ponting, I think, doing this to Rudy Curzon, and Rudy Curzon again stirring his finger like this.
Curzon
But
They used to dominate.
from that era to this era means this is the
comparison.
I think
No comparison.
yes.
No comparison, and moreover,
What happened
moreover,
to Australia, man?
that is
After that sandpaper gate, I don't think they can ever recover
they won
from
the
it.
WTC, they won the World Cup.
No,
but
no, yes,
they
yes,
have
yes,
done
that
well.
was there, that was there, that was
but
there.
against
But
India in
but
Test
that
series,
aggression,
yeah,
that aggression, I think
they have mellowed
that went
down.
after the sandpaper
They have
gate.
mellowed down a lot on the field and against quality opposition like India, especially against India, because we have been building it up. When we were building it up, the Border Gavaskar Trophy, we said it is actually qualifies better than Ashes
Yes.
at this point. And yes, the quality with what we are seeing, India getting out for 150, Australian bowlers bowling really well in the first innings, but India not losing faith in their skills and coming back extremely hard with the bat, with the ball, and with the new guys also, as you said, the fearless mindset of Yashasvi
Yeah.
Jaiswal, Harshit
Nitish Kumar
Rana,
Reddy.
bowling bouncers to Stark,
Yes.
Josh Hazelwood, Alex
Kept on
Carey.
hitting him and kept on saying sorry. Kept on hitting him and kept on hitting
I
him.
think
Sorry.
the key for, if you ask me, actually the architect for India's win in Perth goes to that partnership between Yashasvi
Yeah,
Jaiswal and
KL
KL Rahul.
Rahul, yeah.
That
They finished
200-run partnership that almost took the match away from Australia.
And he perfectly
Means,
wrote the caption
with
also in
that
his selfie
with
also.
that heat, the conditions were so hot out there, and to be
finished
out there in the
in-
middle for 1.5 days, that almost literally drained out the Australian batters.
200 reasons for smile.
Yeah, obviously that has.
And that master stroke, I don't know whose decision it was, whether it was Jasprit Bumrah's decision, whether it was Gautam Gambhir's decision, but to declare the innings and make Australia bat after
For
a
last half an hour.
after a tiring entire day at the 35-degree heat, I think that was a master stroke. And Jasprit Bumrah did come in the press conference and said, we thought it would be great if we can get 2 wickets at max,
And
but we
eventually
got
they got 3.
we got more, so it was a bonus for us.
Exactly.
So that was a master stroke. So let's move to our last part of this live.
A very emotional part.
From the Adelaide Oval, yeah, and it's a very emotional part. Now comes a very emotional part of this live, and it's the 10th death anniversary of Phil Hughes. And it was an unfortunate, it was a dark day in cricket, and the way he got out, the coverage, the kind of tribute he has been getting over the years.
And even back home in India on that day, I
back
still remember.
back home in India, and still our writers Michael Clark did give a comment on Ref Sports, exclusively to Ref Sports, that he will be celebrating Phil Hughes. He will be raising a glass
On his 36th birthday.
on his 36th birthday, which is this weekend only.
Yeah.
So it will be an emotional, not only this day, but an emotional week when we celebrate the legacy of Phil Hughes, and of course. After that incident, the importance of wearing helmet, the importance of
Concussions.
concussions.
Because before that, I don't think there was any concussions.
Yeah, Will
were there.
Pukovski is another example who has suffered a lot of concussions in his career. But Phil Hughes, a small tribute from your side, Devashika.
Yeah, obviously, and obviously it brings back memories. You could actually see a plaque outside the Sydney cricket ground dressing room, and for cricketers like Michael Clark, David Warner, they have been so close. New South Wales, they have been so close with Phil Hughes, and what a cricketer he was. Means and that is what this current Australian team is missing. Means obviously someone like who had that grit, the temperament, the quality, the technique to succeed in international cricket. And Phil Hughes had all the credentials and he was one of the top cricketers. Means and
Exactly.
and unfortunately, means accidents do happen, and that was a learning lesson for everyone. And that moment where we back in India, we were watching the entire Indian team and they're turning out for his the funeral ceremony. Obviously, Michael Clark carrying the coffin. So those are all the emotional moments that will forever remain in our minds, irrespective of which teams we support. And Phil Hughes' death was a telling blow for the game.
Absolutely, and the entire, not only India or Australia, but the entire cricketing world came together to give a heartfelt tribute to Phil Hughes, to celebrate his career, to celebrate his legacy. And as Devashish said, he was a top cricketer who had all the skill sets, the grit, the determination, the way of playing the game of cricket, the Aussie way. I think he was the embodiment of all those quality. Rohit, your words on Phil Hughes?
I think, very, very emotional day. I still remember that because I've just started working in media at that point of time. and watching those coverages, everyone keeping their bat with the caps on the handle, just paying tribute in their own way. Beat the Australian footy also. Everywhere it was written like Phil Hughes, 63 not out, 63 not out forever. His cap number was ingrained on that ground also. I still remember Michael Clark hitting against us that century, David Warner hitting the century, Steven Smith hitting the century, and everyone. And after that, when Nathan Lyon picked that last wicket, of I think Ishant Sharma, he was just coming down the track, the ball came inside, it was a stump, and then everyone, all of them, because his cap number was carved over the outfield, and they all went there and celebrated just there. And then at the very last, Nathan Lyon just pat on that number, sitting there at the very last moment and just pat. So yeah, it was very, very, as we said at the very start, that it was cricket story. It's a very emotional one. But the game has completely changed after that. You can see the back helmet grill also. After that Yashasvi Jaiswal's helmet, you can innovations, and then concussions coming into the picture. They started taking concussions, concussion substitute. They started taking concussions very seriously. Now any ball, if it hit you on the grill, on the helmet, on the back part of the helmet, this is mandatory. Then you have to go through with a concussion, question and answers and something like that. So I think that particular incident taught cricket a lot. I think,
it was only fitting for Cricket Australia to come out with a video showing a perfect tribute to Phil Hughes.
Yes.
Obviously came and
I still remember Indian team, full Indian team. Virat Kohli, Ravi Shastri at the very start.
Was there, remember? At the funeral
Mitchell Johnson, when he hit, Virat Kohli on the badge of his helmet. I think that's a completely different story.
Absolutely.
Everyone is in a fear that, it again hit the helmet. So, what can we say? It's a very
It's emotional and of course
a very memorable one.
And a memorable one. Of course, Phil Hughes, as Rohit said, his contribution to cricket, his presence on the cricket field will never be forgotten, and his legacy will live on.
And because of him only, the cricket has changed a lot.
Absolutely.
On security point of view, batters' security point of view,
and for good. And of course, yes, his memory will forever live with us, and we give all our heartfelt tribute to Phil Hughes and his family, all the respect that we can give from here in Adelaide.
And we'll definitely show the memorial also. Something that they've been carved in the Sydney Cricket Ground also.
There's a plaque in front of the Sydney Cricket Ground.
We'll definitely show you when we reach
the home dressing room. You can see next to the home dressing room.
So when any batter can come out, he can even touch it. I think David Warner did it also. Touched it also.
David Warner does it. So this is our starting coverage from Adelaide. Rohit will be travelling to Canberra to cover the Prime Minister's 11 game. We will be here in Adelaide building up for the second test, which is a day-night test, and we'll show you around Adelaide City. Devashish is someone who knows this city in and out, so we'll be covering a bit of Don Bradman also. We'll be covering what is happening inside. We'll try to give you the technicalities of the pink ball also, and yes,
and the pitch
also very important. After that 295 run defeat against Australia, how they prepared this pitch for this day-night test. So stay tuned to Ref Sports, and thank you so much for joining us.